going to show you a high-level overview of Import CloudSuite Industrial Sightline. So real quickly, we're going to take a look at some of the features and functions of Sightline. So it goes from the beginning of the process all the way through to the end. So we can start with our customer relationship management piece, into estimating and order entry, the engineering and design, as well as the purchasing and sourcing of the material, through the production and manufacturing of your product, including quality through all of those processes, and the full material control, and ultimately into the financials. We do have a full configurator option, as well as a service option for those companies that service what they sell. Most people are going to navigate from the customer service, or from the home pages, excuse me. In this case, I have the customer service home page up. Home pages are designed as you log into Sightline to bring the information up to let you know what you should be doing, how you're doing, and in some cases, how you need to do it. So as we look at a home page, the first thing you're going to see is a lot of different statistics. So some alerts and some tasks and things. Maybe some graphs on how the area is doing. In this case, with customer service, my on-time shipment, my actual versus plan, some key information for the day. So maybe I want to see how many dollars in late orders I have, how many dollars of orders I've taken today, maybe even RMAs, and maybe some of my top orders that need to be shipped. I can also launch out to different applications. So whether I want to maybe open Word or Excel, or even go out to a website directly from Sightline. All of these here are launch buttons for the different areas. So for example, as in customer service, I may want to open up customers. I'm simply going to click on the launch button. That is going to open up my customers form so that I can see the information that I need to see based on a particular customer. The next step is the Navigator tab, and this is actually one of my favorites. This really brings a wealth of knowledge in the area that the home page is for. So in this case, again, with customer service, I'm going to see a lot of information that a customer service person would need to see. For example, things like a hot list. So these are customer orders in Sightline that are projected to be late. Maybe I need to get some pricing if a customer calls and very quickly wants to know some pricing and stuff. As well as taking a look at the orders I have, past due, open, credit holds, RMAs, and so on and so forth. We can also do events that update the system. So based on the response from an event, we can have the system change. So to give you a real quick example of that, I got my customer forms up here, and I've got a customer calls, customer service, and says, hey, I'd like to have my credit limit raised. The customer service person can come in here, and in this case, it's Gilmore Two Wheels it's requesting, and they'd like to have a $200,000 credit limit. So the customer service person is simply going to come change the credit limit, and they're going to save that change within the system. What Sightline's doing behind the scenes is it's actually suspending that change. So at this moment, Gilmore's credit limit is still $100,000. It's suspended the change to that record, and it's holding until it has been approved. At that point, we have launched that event. And if I come back into my inbox, I am going to have a new event that says, hey, Gilmore's is requesting a $200,000 credit limit, and we have to approve. So here we have the ability to respond, whether I'm going to respond and say yes, that I approve it, or no, or I can even respond with a different amount to say this is the amount that I want to do instead of that from here. And in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and approve this and say, yes, we're going to approve this. It's going to show that I selected that choice, excuse me, and it is then going to come back, update the system, and change that credit limit back on that customer to either the old credit limit if I said no, or the new credit limit if I approve that. So if we come back and take a look at this record, you're now going to see that that credit limit is $200,000. So everybody today wants to see those dashboards and those gauges and those types of things. They want that live information. They want it right now. And that's exactly what our critical numbers do for you. It supplies you that information within Sightline. It is live and updating at all times. There's a set of those that come on all the home pages within Sightline, but these can actually be put throughout the entire system on any form that you want to put them on. You can tailor the ones that come with the system, and we also will train you how to create your own. What you can do with these is, for example, I've got one for late order lines. It tells me what my actual number is. If I double-click, it's going to drill down to that information in Sightline that makes up that number. So there's no more questions about why is this number what it is, where is it coming from. I simply drill down, see that information. If something doesn't look right, I have the opportunity to understand why and make any of those types of changes. The last thing on our home page is our data views. What our data views really do is provide an ad hoc reporting tool for the individual user. So, for example, real quickly, I'm going to create a total dollar amount on order by customer. So here I have my individual record. I'm going to come to my display, and the first thing I'm going to do is choose my column, because this is my report, and maybe I don't want all of this information on here. So I really don't care about the ship to. I maybe don't even care about, the originating site or whether it came from EDI or the web. So you can see as I'm checking these things, those are falling off of your view. So I can choose those columns. Then I can say I want to group by. So in this case, I said I want to do this by our customer. So I'm simply going to drag the customer name up here. What that's going to do is group everything by the customers. And you can see at this point how many items I have and the fact that it's been grouped. I'm going to expand this out. I'm going to take it a little bit further and say, well, I also want to do some filtering. I have both planned and ordered customer orders, and I really only want to look at anything that's ordered and been approved. So again, I can come here to my status, and I can say I only want a status of ordered, and it's going to filter out all of those records that have a status of planned. And then, of course, the last thing I want to do is I want to sum up how much these customers have on order with me. So I'm going to come to total price, and I'm going to say I want a sum, and I'm also going to do an average. You'll see I could do a count, a maximum, a minimum, and I also can create any types of formulas and functions that I need to do any of the type of calculations that are required. At that point now, I can come back, and I can collapse this. And so I've just created my total dollar amount on order by customer. All right, the last thing I want to talk about before we move into the different areas of Sightline is I want to talk a little bit about personalization. Sightline comes with a wonderful tool set that allows you to make changes to the system, whether that is adding your own fields, adding your own tables, adding your own tabs, moving information around in the system, hiding things that are not applicable within the system. So we have a little design button here at the top of the form, and you do have to have security to do this. I usually get asked that question. This is generally something an IT or super user is going to do, and it's going to allow you to come in and see the information and make changes to the information, whether I'm hiding a field, adding a field, making a field required, or using any of the tools set over here, again, to add different types of fields, graphs, grids, and those types of things. So to give you an idea of what you can do, I have my 360 account management form here. It did start off as the customer master form, so it looked exactly like the form we just looked at. The difference is I have moved a lot of things around and added a lot of fields. So things for like the number of employees and company revenue are not standard fields, and those have been added. I've added a lot of tabs, so my key performance or key business indicators, so I have those right here. The customer form had a lot of launch buttons to get to a lot of different areas of Sightline, and instead I have tabs with all that information. And again, that same drill down capability is there. So taking that customer order, drilling down to the details, exporting this out, and being able to do all that information directly within Sightline.